Reality is already obeying you. But the problem is, you taught it to obey your fears. Every thought, every emotion, every silent assumption you've carried has been an instruction. You didn't realize it, but you've been broadcasting a frequency, an unconscious order that the universe has no choice but to fulfill. And so reality bends, not to your desires, but to your doubts, not to your truth, but to your programming. Think about the cycle you've been living. You see lack, you feel lack, you believe in lack, and so the pattern repeats, reinforcing itself like a loop with no exit. Each time you look at the evidence, you tighten the chain. Each time you take matter as the authority, you become its servant. But here's the paradox. Matter is the last domino, not the first. It's the effect, not the cause. And yet you've been living as if it has the final word, letting it define who you are, what you're worth, and what's possible for you. This is why some people look untouchable, as if luck follows them everywhere. It's not luck, it's law. They've stopped obeying matter, and matter has no choice but to obey them. Their energy leads, and the world scrambles to match it. So here is the question you can't escape. What happens if you reverse the chain? What happens if instead of letting your state be dictated by what you see, you choose your state first and demand that reality fall in line? The truth is, you are already training reality every moment of every day. The only difference between the lucky and the stuck is the signal they send. If you stopped obeying matter, if you stopped feeding the loop for just 7 days, what would your world begin to look like? You've been climbing a ladder you didn't even know existed. Each rung looks harmless, a thought, a judgment, a passing emotion, but together they form the structure of your reality. It starts simple. You notice something missing. You call it lack. Then you feel it. That feeling hardens into belief. The belief becomes an identity. I am the one who never has enough. And now the loop has you. Because identity broadcasts louder than words. You walk through the world wearing the frequency of limitation, and the universe reflects it back like a mirror. You see more lack, which makes you feel more lack, which makes you believe more lack. The ladder pulls you downward rung by rung. Most people never question this cycle. They point to evidence, saying, this is reality. But they don't see that the evidence is only the echo of their state. The cause is invisible. The cause is inside. And the cruelest trick, the more you argue for your limitations, the stronger they become. The world nods, obeying the command you didn't know you gave. So ask yourself, what would happen if you kicked away just one rung? What if the moment you saw lack, you refused to feel it? What if you chose instead to anchor a different state, to feel abundance, even in the absence of proof? One broken rung is all it takes. Because when the cycle collapses, a different ladder appears. And that ladder doesn't drag you down, it pulls you up. The question is, which rung is holding your reality in place right now? Break it, and watch what falls. Everything moves, nothing rests. This is not poetry, it's physics. Atoms are never still. They vibrate, they spin, they hum with invisible motion. And what we call matter is nothing more than patterns of vibration dense enough for your senses to touch. The Hermetic teachers called this the law of vibration. Science confirms the same. All things are waves before they are objects. Different rates of vibration create different forms, different states, different experiences. So when you say, this is solid reality, what you're actually pointing to is the slowest, densest layer of consciousness. The final layer, the after effect. Think of the universe as 3 planes stacked within each other. The spiritual plane, pure consciousness, the source field, the unseen cause. The mental plane, thought, imagination, belief, the bridge where possibilities take form. The physical plane, the echo of the first 2, a condensation of vibration into what we call matter. You exist on all 3 at once. But here's the mistake. You've been letting the lowest one speak the loudest. You've been bowing to the echo and forgetting the voice. This is why people stay trapped. They look at the effect, money, status, failures, achievements, and let those vibrations dictate their state. They obey the last domino, and so they never realize they are the first. Here is the simple model to burn into your mind. Cause, code, artifact. Consciousness is cause, Mind is code. Matter is artifact. So why live as if the artifact can author you? Why give the lowest vibration the authority to define your worth, your state, your destiny? Because you've been tricked. Tricked into believing that matter comes first. But if matter is last, then something else must be choosing it. And that something is watching right now. Every particle in the universe waits. It waits in silence, suspended in possibility. It can spin this way or that way, appear here or there, exist or not exist at all. In physics, they call this superposition. In spirituality, they call it the field. And what collapses that infinite cloud of potential into one reality? Observation, consciousness, you. When you look, the field answers. When you decide, the wave becomes particle, the invisible becomes visible. Reality crystallizes around the frequency you broadcast. This is why you are not at the mercy of the world. You are its filter, its selector, its observer. And every time you believe that you are powerless, you've already chosen a powerless stream. Every time you believe you are bound, you've already collapsed into a bound reality. The field does not judge. It does not ask what you deserve. It only echoes what you hold. Energy in, experience out. So let's return to those people who seem untouchable, always aligned, always lucky. What is different about them? Nothing in their body, nothing in their past. If you swapped consciousness with them, your life would bend in the same way. Because they are not reacting to the world, they are broadcasting to the field. And the field obeys, always. So if you are already bending reality unconsciously, what is stopping you from doing it deliberately? Only one thing: the single opponent that jams the signal, interrupts the broadcast, and ties you back to the lowest plane. It has a name, and in the next chapter, we will expose it. You came into this world clean, pure awareness breathing through a fragile body, but the moment your eyes opened, the programming began. Voices, rules, names, expectations. A character was written for you, and you believed it was you. This character is what we call the ego. And here's the truth most people never hear. Your ego is not self-born. It has a parent. And that parent is the world. Every fear you inherited, every rule you obey, every belief about what's possible, none of it came from your higher essence. It was stitched together by circumstance, by society, by the lowest plane of reality, matter. So of course the ego worships the world. The world created it. And like every child desperate for approval, the ego bows to its parent. It feeds on validation, on status, on possessions, on the chase for recognition. It is reactive, always scanning the external to decide its worth. That's why you can feel two selves inside you. One is infinite, expansive, quiet, the higher self. The other is restless, anxious, never satisfied, the ego self. One creates, the other imitates. One is original, the other is programmed. Ancient teachings gave the ego many names: the opponent, the adversary, even Satan, not a creature with horns, but a voice that keeps you chained to the lowest frequencies. The Antichrist of your own consciousness. But don't mistake this for evil. The ego isn't your enemy to be destroyed. It's a character to be recognized, a mask you can wear, but never confuse with the face beneath. Because if you keep thinking you are the character, you will keep obeying the script. And if you keep obeying the script, reality will keep obeying your chains. So here's the question that matters now. How do you stop being the created self and remember that you are the creator? The answer is the break. And once you make it, nothing in your world will look the same. This is the moment everything shifts. You've spent years letting the echo define the voice, letting matter, the last effect, decide the state of the cause. That cycle ends here. The break happens when you see through the lie. You are not the character, you are the player. The ego was written by the world, but you were not written. You write. Here is the law in one sentence: identity precedes probability. Who you decide to be broadcasts the frequency that selects the field. Think of it this way: every possible version of reality already exists, streams of infinite outcomes running side by side. Most people walk blindly into one stream because their ego, built by the world, hands them a script, and they obey it. But the moment you choose state first, the moment you anchor identity before evidence, you step into a different stream. Reality rearranges, the mirror shifts. Stop being created, start creating. This is the essence of the invincibility frequency, because when your state is chosen from within, matter can't argue, it has no power. It must bend. The world doesn't give you permission. You give the world its assignment. So ask yourself right now, what identity are you broadcasting? The created self reacting to every shadow of lack, or the creator self declaring its state and daring reality to follow? Choose and you change streams. Choose and you break the cycle. Choose and the game is yours. But to hold this choice, you need more than inspiration. You need a practice that makes it real, something to use every day until the invincibility frequency becomes your new normal. That practice is what comes next. Fair truth without practice is just decoration. If you want the break to hold, you need a way to anchor it. So here is the simplest ritual. 3 steps, 1 daily, 1 weekly, 1 unbreakable boundary. Daily, state first. Before you touch your phone, before you check the world, you choose. 3 minutes, eyes closed, breathe steady. Ask yourself, how do I want to feel today? What identity am I broadcasting? Anchor it with one phrase that carries weight. I am abundance. I am clarity. I am freedom. Speak it, feel it, wear it. The world will be forced to echo. Weekly, evidence audit. Pick one moment from your week where the world mirrored your chosen state. Write it down. It might be small, a conversation, a door opening, an unexpected ease. This is proof that reality bends, proof that you are cause. The more you record it, the faster the ego loses its grip. Boundary. Never trade state for circumstance. This is the line you do not cross. If an action, a thought, or a conversation costs your state, it is not aligned. You wait. You hold the signal. You let the next step come from intuition, not fear. This is not about perfection. It is about repetition. The more you practice, the stronger the signal. The stronger the signal, the weaker the old script becomes. Try it for 7 days. Watch what falls away. Watch what appears in its place. And remember, your only real work is state. Everything else is assignment. But there is still one final piece, because if you don't return to the beginning, the circle stays open, and power leaks through the gap. Let's close it. Reality is already obeying you. It always has. The question was never whether the universe listens. The question was, what orders have you been giving? For too long you trained reality to echo fear, lack, and limitation. You let the echo speak louder than the voice. You bowed to the artifact instead of the cause. But now you know the secret. You are not the created. You are the creator. You are not the character trapped in the script. You are the one holding the pen. Choose your state, and reality bends. Hold your signal, and the field answers. This is the invincibility frequency. Not a miracle, not luck, a law. So pause right now. Feel your breath. Feel the awareness behind it. That is the part of you that no circumstance can touch. That is the source. If this message has stirred something in you, don't let it fade. Walk with us. Subscribe and keep training the signal that rewrites your world, because the game has never been about obeying reality. The game is teaching reality to obey you.